Welcome back to Frieren Fridays here on Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And every day on Fridays, not every day, every Friday. Say back. Every day is Friday here. Definitely Not Definitive. No, every Friday, we're reacting to Frieren here. I posted at 9 a.m. Pacific Central Time. What is wrong with me? Pacific Standard Time? We both at 9 a.m. both Pacific Time and Central Time because it's always Friday here in my world. Come live in my fantasy land. I'm leaving this all in here. I'm not editing this out. I was fine. And then you just kept losing it, and so maybe you lose it. Okay.
Wow.
Come on. We are professionals here.
I'm like crying. Woo. We can look at each other and hold a straight face. Right?
Yep, that was it. That was it. I'm like, is she going to break again? Okay, here we go. We got to meet that dude.
Ooh.
Our new
Axeman.
Yeah, our new warrior. She's like basically teaching the next, I don't know, age of heroes, generation of heroes. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she can outlive them too. 28 years after the death of Himmel the Hero, Grounds Channel. Okay.
Located in the Central Lands.
Been difficult for ships to navigate. So all sorts of...
Yeah, I'd say.
In the old days, the entire village used to pitch in and help clean up.
You all could just install a lighthouse. That might help.
Would you be willing to accept this as payment?
It's a book written by the legendary mage Flamma.
Mistress Frieren.
Is this the only grimoire the village has?
Yes.
It shall do. We'll restore your coast to its former glory.
That book is a fake.
So, you've been studying like I told you to. Texts attributed to Flamma aren't real.
Then why did you accept the job?
Because he needed help
That
anyways.
man clearly needed our help.
Yeah.
That must not be your only reason.
I'm doing this for me.
Sounds like we have another long stay ahead of us.
I threw in something extra just for you. A gift for 3 months of loyalty. Have you gotten used to our village yet?
I have.
The shore gets awfully cold this time of year. You girls be careful.
3 months. Sure, Frieren is like 3 minutes.
Something like that.
It's morning time. You need to wake up. There's work to do.
Definitely not a morning person. Should literally push her out the door. The writer of this definitely was not a morning person either, and like just knew what it's like not be a morning person.
Yep.
Something occurred to me. I wonder if you might actually be a rather irresponsible sort of person. Wake you up at a reasonable hour every morning and get you dressed and feed you. You do know that I am not your mother, don't you?
I overslept all the time back then.
And you never got in trouble for it?
I did, actually. Though Heiter did often click his tongue in disapproval. Sorry.
What's it?
I understand, friend, but calm down.
He gave you the tongue click of rage.
Tongue click of rage.
How's the big cleanup coming along?
I would say that we're about 2/3 of the way there.
In that case, I sincerely hope you'll be able to join us in watching the sunrise this time.
So this whole cleanup operation is related to the New Year's festival?
In this village, it's customary to welcome the new year by watching the sunrise. They say that it's quite beautiful. Let's try to hurry. We don't have much time.
Oh God. She can get trapped in that chest again.
Wow. That's impressive.
The water quality is looking great.
Our work is done with a whole night to spare.
Thank you for all your hard work, Miss Frieren. You'll be joining us for the festival, right?
Right.
We're excited to have you.
There's no way you'll be able to wake up in time. It would be impossible.
Not if I simply
Just
don't
stay up all
sleep.
night. Yep. Pulling all nighter.
Bent on seeing the sunrise?
To be honest, I couldn't care less.
I don't understand.
Neither do I.
Needs to see what all the fuss is about.
You didn't come to the New Year's festival with us. You broke poor Heiter's heart. Now he's bedridden. What a sensitive soul.
The rest of you got to go, so what's the issue?
You
Wanted to
should
share it
have
with
been there too. We wanted you to enjoy it.
It was merely a sunrise.
You're wrong there. You would have loved it.
Why's that?
Because you're just that kind of person.
She's asleep. She's asleep! Mistress Frieren! You have to wake up, or else you'll be late to the festival! Why exactly am I doing this again?
For me, Fern. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Good apprentice.
It's
Yeah, see the
certainly
sunrise like that
pretty,
over the
But I
water.
wouldn't say it's worth waking up early for. Maybe Himmel didn't know what kind of person I was after all. I'm off.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, is it? It's just a sunrise. Oh,
You see the moment, the light changes, and it makes you happy.
I wouldn't have been able to see this sunrise if I'd been on my own.
Absolutely not. I'd still be snuggled up in bed.
It happened a long time ago. Demons attacked my village and showed no mercy. What are you doing?
Same prayer.
We return to nothing when we die.
I like to think we go to heaven.
I myself am skeptical about the idea of a heaven. Magic can't observe the souls of the dead, so an afterlife cannot be outright proven, though it cannot be disproven either.
I, for one, don't think it matters either way.
In the grand scheme of things, I can't say how much it truly matters.
Careful now, O corrupt one. Not very priestly.
But even if a heaven doesn't exist, I very much believe that it should.
Why's that?
I feel it's more convenient that way. A heavenly realm where souls can live in luxury. It's a nice thought.
Let's pray.
Let's.
28 years later. Okay, in the Central Lands.
Hello there. I thought I'd drop by.
You act as if it hasn't been 30 years.
So, not very long at all then. I came to see if there's anything I can help you with.
I heard you paid a visit to Hyder before he passed away, and asked him the same thing.
How do you know about that?
Hyder and I rode often.
You're much friendlier than you appear.
Or perhaps you're not friendly enough.
Probably a little bit of both.
So you've been here before?
Long ago.
Long ago, she says. How long must that be?
Probably in
1,000 years.
prehistoric times.
Prehistoric times.
What are we looking for?
The notes of Flamma, the legendary mage. Her genuine notes are located somewhere in Full Basin.
We can start by looking for a giant tree.
That's ridiculous. We're in a forest full of...
Look for the biggest one.
I suppose you do have all the time in the world.
What's happening with her?
I have no idea. Did she swallow a bee or something?
Let's search as efficiently as possible.
You never cared about other people's time before.
That's all Fern. She's scary when she's mad.
I'll watch myself.
I thought she was gonna make some wine.
So did I.
I understand wanting those notes, but why now?
Because I felt sorry for you. 30 years ago, at his funeral, you said that you wished you would have gotten to know him better. In my humble opinion, you should tell that to Himmel himself. According to legend, Flamma's notes discuss her conversations with the dead.
Nothing more than a fairy tale.
You know more than most that all magic started as fairy tales. And don't you want to learn more about your lost friend? It was evident that you had regrets. We wanted to help you through them.
Good friends.
Yep.
A barrier, and a powerful one. It's protecting both the tree and the ruins.
It's been over 1,000 years now, and here I am dancing in the palm of my master's hand.
I'd said about 1,000 years.
This little sapling will grow in 1,000 years.
Probably so, but you'll be dead by then.
Well, sure, but you won't be. And you'll wish you had gotten to know the people around you.
Are you asking I get to know you? How needy.
So she was always like that.
Return to this place, and I, the legendary mage Flamma, will be here to help.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So those are Flamma's notes?
They are.
Does it say anything about speaking with the dead?
It was already open to that very page. So she knew 1,000 years ago that I would come back here someday. What an unpleasant woman. On the very northernmost end of the continent,
I arrived at the place the people...
Does she have her same earrings?
It's Aureole, the land where souls rest. Many spirits have gathered there. I spoke with friends whom I once fought alongside. It was the discovery of a lifetime.
I
It
bet.
will hopefully propel the research on souls forward.
Do you think any of that is true?
Who can say? She was rather irresponsible.
Why would she lie?
It's more convenient if it does.
You're right. I should try believing for a change.
Do Do you have any idea exactly where this place might be?
Enda.
But that's where...
That's correct. It is now home to the Demon King's castle.
But he's dead.
Frieren, you must go to Aureole and speak with Himmel. You said you would help me, did you not?
I'll do it then. We needed a destination.
This is going to be an uphill battle. She's already dead asleep.
As carefree as ever.
Face out there.
Sleep whining.
Sleep wine.
Really that frigid around the Demon King's castle?
Conquering Indus terrain is no small feat. It's at the northernmost end of the continent. We braved much more than the cold in that place.
I'm sure. I think she's napped for long enough. Rise and shine. Well, I tried.
Say, Fern, is that elf a good teacher to you?
I don't know the answer.
She's the only teacher you've had, really.
I'm always at her mercy. That said, her interest in getting to know Himmel and the rest of your party has given her some direction. When it comes to me, I find that she is significantly less interested. The reason she took me on in the first place was because Master Heiter asked her to.
I see.
She does care in her own way. Whenever my birthday comes around, she picks out some sort of present for me. I'm curious what goes through her mind. She's a mystery.
Frieren, you won't be staying in the royal capital?
I'm going to keep traveling.
All by yourself?
It's easier that way.
You're not going to take on an apprentice? A journey is better with someone to talk to.
I fear it would be a waste of time. No matter how much I teach them, they'll surely die.
How cheery.
Yep.
Okay.
Just consider our adventure. It's taken up less than 1/100th of my life. You should understand, Eisen.
That's enough. No time for such depressing talk. Today is a day for celebration and glee. Let us toast.
Yeah, corrupt priest.
But he wants an excuse to drink more.
That elf is a great teacher.
You're right.
You're really not coming with us?
Correct. It's as I told you before.
He strokes his beard.
Don't get in your way.
All right.
You have a long journey ahead. It took the four of us 10 years.
I see. So we'll be following the same route you took to the Demon King's castle on your first journey.
Too bad she didn't unlock fast travel, so could she get there?
Yeah.
Another brief 10-year adventure.
It was interesting that like Frieren's teacher like knew that, okay, even though she's like closed off now, but there's going to come a point where she is going to meet at least somebody that is going to like have an effect on her, and like because one, she's closed off, and because she like lives such a long life, it makes her so she doesn't get to know people as well, because then she's like, what's the point? Because like I'm just gonna lose these people anyways. But she was sort of like forced into like getting to know them. Even for like her, it was a short amount of time, but like it was probably the most amount of time she's been I imagine up to that point she like spent with somebody to like really to get to know them a little bit more, and she wanted to like even know more about them. And so she's like, to have that foresight being like, okay, she's eventually gonna want to come here at some point to see someone, because she outlives basically everybody, and she journeys a lot. So she's eventually going to want to talk to somebody again. And like, I mean, it's great that she unlocked that power or whatever, or knew about the realm on where you can go and talk to people. She found heaven. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So as you were watching this, like a couple thoughts came to mind. One of which was, she talked about how, oh, this is only 1/100th of my life. This is like, snapshot. And yet, look at how much time she's still spending decades later.
Yep.
Thinking about it, reminiscing over it. So the impact that someone or some theme may make on your life is not measured in the quantity of time, but in the quality of time.
Mm-hmm.
And so she had quality of time with these people. So even though it was so brief, it is something that she has continued to spend her thoughts on and her time on despite that. And the other thought that came to mind was just sort of how we always tend to idolize our heroes, and in the stories, our heroes, even if they're flawed, we're so quick to forgive their flaws and just think of them as these exceptional, wonderful people. Not that they aren't, but it's interesting going back in Frieren's history and seeing like she did have kind of a coldness about her and a closed offness about her from a very young age that she really hangs on to. And it's causing her, one, it can hurt the people around her. You know, her apprentice says, like, she doesn't really care about me. But two, it's also hurting her. And so I just thought that was interesting, you know, now that we're getting beyond the journey's end and we're getting more into Frieren as a person and not just a heroic fable about Frieren. It is kind of fun to explore that and learn those aspects too.
And like such good friends that she made like in that journey. Because I think Eisen, I think is his name, saying that like, you know, they kind of like knew this is what like that Frieren would like need their help and like opening up. And it's like it doesn't come natural to her. And like also I feel like because she hasn't gotten like close to people and because she like lives forever, like the concept of death, like it just seems so like life didn't seem like as maybe as precious sometimes. Like I think that's like kind of a theme we see like for people that like live a little bit longer, for longer periods of time. It's like that's what makes life so precious to us is that you only have, you know, 100 years if you're like, you know, super lucky. Although I don't know if I want to live 100 years. But you know, like it's a good friend because like of something that is, you could look at it as Frieren, like a flaw of Frieren that like people could just be like turned off by or sort of like maybe like almost like even like begrudgingly accept. They're just like, no, like they like looked at it as something that they could help her out with this, and that like they cared about her so much. And like she's like so much older than them that she thinks she'd be like wiser, but like they're like they are more experienced in. But I don't know, Eisen's old as well, so I don't know about that. But I was thinking like, you know, humans like, you know, more experience death more frequently and like, you know, losing a close one and a loved one, and so like they might like know how to like deal with that. But yeah, now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, Eisen's older as well, so maybe it's just like that's just like what Frieren is like. You know, it's not just necessarily her being like an elf; it's just her. That's just her personality.
It kind of the way you talked about the friends being there for her and whatnot kind of made me feel or think of Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Like Eeyore is depressed. Yeah. Eeyore's always depressed. His friends don't make him feel bad for being depressed. Exactly. They try to include him, and if they like he's not interested, then okay. But like they don't shame him for it. And you know, I talked about Frieren's closed offness as being a flaw, and I think that's accurate in that she suffers for it as do some of the people around her suffer for it. And yet I think her friends are the best kinds of friends because it's not like you're broken, we have to change you. Yeah. But it's you're probably going to want support with this. And when you're ready, we're going to be here to do it. Yep,
exactly. That's a great way to put it. And not trying to shame somebody or change them, but like trying to figure out a way to talk to them, help them, and just realize that, you know, they are different from you. I know we're all different. We all are unique snowflakes. They were just good friends. I mean, the good friend knows like how to motivate you and like what makes you tick, and like just like I don't know how to talk to you, and like just like I think what you said was better the way you said it, but I was just really impressed with them as like being Frieren's friends. Like she's just very lucky to have them.
Completely agree. Yeah.
And it was interesting, Fern, you know, the question of whether or not Frieren was a good teacher or not.
Yeah. I mean, Fern is learning. So I guess at like that base level of that question, the answer is yes, because knowledge is being imparted unto Fern and Fern is learning. But at the same time, you know, I think when I think of the teachers who I've really resonated with, they have demonstrated care for me and my development, and like that's motivating because then like they care, so you care, and it kind of like I don't know, it goes in a circular way that keeps hopefully growing and being positive. So the fact that Fern was like, I mean, she doesn't really seem to care about me. I know, I'm like, I don't think that's true. Yeah. And even Fern acknowledged she gets birthday gifts. At the same time, like Frieren is not good with the warm fuzzies.
No, she's not. But I think she understood a little bit more of the sunrise, like not just, I don't know, the beauty of the moment. And I get I'm not a morning person either, so I get like wanting to sleep in and everything. But like that, but also like sharing that moment with someone and like seeing like how they respond and their reaction. Kind of like how like this whole thing started, this whole episode started, like you laughing and then like your reaction to that, like just got me laughing and triggering everything. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know, sometimes the best moments are not the moments that maybe you've chosen or that you want to do because you knew that you would enjoy them, but something that you're experiencing with someone else for the first time or sharing with them and just seeing how it lights them up, and like that brings you joy. So like the sunset or the sunrise didn't have to bring her joy, but seeing how Fern responded to the sunrise,
Exactly.
that warmed up her. And then she was like, I don't know if impressed by is the right word or in awe of it, but like she was at peace with it. Whereas I think before it was kind of like, I got out of bed for this. Really? Yeah. I mean, it's fine, but but then she saw Fern and she's like, oh, yeah, I got out of bed for this.
Yeah. Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And thanks so much for checking our reaction. I ended.
Do this again.
I got ended the same way I began it. To Frieren Beyond Journey's End, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.